Currently loading in 3 metre long board on my own to finish this wall here. Watch me struggle through this gap. All about technique. Way too heavy, but with technique you can do it. Right, I'm going to get the board in. What I need to do is create this little bit of framing here so I can tie a bit of board into there to finish that wall off, so then that wall's complete. And then, like I said, we'll get this wall done as well. So I'll just get everything set up and then we'll crack on. Okay, so I've just set that wall out, insulated it. I've just got the first board to put in that corner so we can tie it all together. So I'm just going to position it now so I can cut the upright then. This bit here that I've just put up is the offcut of that bit there, so I had no idea where the rail was going to be needed. So now I've just positioned it and straightened it. I'll now cut that in place, fix it, brace it, and then get that one in. So we'll come back when I'm doing that. Bonjour, good morning. It is Sunday the 28th of November, I suppose. Okay, I'll come in from the other side, it's easier. So all the clamps have been taken off this door frame now, and as you can see, that looks very smart. At a later date, like I said, I'll caulk up the edges and repaint it in just to finish it off. I need to do this side, and I need to do Sky's side, and obviously the spare bedroom, they're the priorities. But like I said in that last clip, I won't film it. I'm now going to carry on in that room over there. Okay, the battery on this new GoPro is knackered. I'm going to have to buy a new one, which is a bit annoying, so I can't really film much and I'm doing lots. All insulated. I'm going to get this boarded and covered up. This is the before. That is it after. And then after the after of that one, which is immediately after I just filmed. So I got all the board to close this up. So this is the before. And that is it, all closed up and after, as we should say. Right, happy days. The next day from that video clip where I did the before bit, it is freezing, it's like -1. It's warm enough in here, it's got to be 5 degrees and over to use our gear. It's always about 5-10 degrees warmer indoors from outside, so we're fine. I'm just setting up now, so I've just got my plastering gear out. We'll get this corner taped up. We'll finish off taping this area because the plan is I need to get this corner finished and ideally painted in the next 2 days so I can get that fridge put in there as a permanent thing. I'll not have to worry about taking it out until we tile the floor. I want to get this wall done. The main reason I want to get this wall done is then it just frees it up, so if I put stuff up against it, I haven't got to worry about moving it again to do work. I was saying to Kaz the other day about this, it's a bit of a logistical nightmare. Eventually we're going to be tiling this area going that way, so I don't want to put too much stuff here. Obviously we need this area here as the kitchen area, so I don't want to fill that up, so we're sort of like, got to keep this here, tile, move that stuff to there, tile, move that stuff to there, so got to do a bit of forward thinking so we don't basically end up double, triple, quadruple lifting things, which unfortunately that is what we're having to do quite often. Right, anyway, less waffling, let's get a mix on. Okay, some nice clean water. Even if my buckets are normally always clean, always clean them again just in case any debris, sand or dirt got in them. Because if you end up with a bit of crap in your mix, especially with this end weed, basically it's a waste of time, so you end up picking more out of the wall than anything else. Okay, over the years you get used to gauging how much water, so get them on about 1.5 inches, 2 inches. I've currently got tools all over the place. Right, that's the mix done, tools clean, we are good to go, we'll be working that way. Right, it's a bit of a pain this job because everything's over 3 meters, so you're up and down like a yo-yo. I'm just taping in the top stop bead. I've just done that first taper down there. This is 4-hour quick set stuff, so I'll be able to get another coat on at the end of the day, which means tomorrow I can put a final coat on, which means I can put some paint on Wednesday. Right, we'll come back when I've got that coated. Okay, that's that corner all done. I'm going to have to go off and get some paper tape to do the corners. Because they make these windows so bloody... I hate it. Like, this gap here is ridiculous. Back home, you get a decent gap so you can plaster in your reveals. There's no tolerance. If I put a bead on there and try and skim and it ends up so tight, it's just a load of crap. So I'll put some corner tape on there, and that's a lot tighter. So that'll be ready for a second coat this afternoon. I'll now get this taped and jointed. It's exactly the same thing. I want paper tape because the reveals where the hinges are is too tight again, but I'll put the main stuff on. And it's snowing out. I hate the spark. I love the snow, but I hate the cold. Okay, that's the first coat all done. We're now ready to do the corner beads. I've just popped down to Showson and bought a 50-meter reel of reinforced corner angle. So basically you've got this metal, there you can see it, which allows you to fold it in half if you're not one-handed holding a GoPro. There you go, and then that forms your reinforced angle. This is your standard paper tape for doing your straight joins and any internal corners. That's internal, that's for external. And then let's have a little lesson. Scrim. This is just for normal plaster works with your Placo, your Lutec 2000 or your multi-finish. Apparently that's pretty much technically banned for use on drywall over here because of cracking. Paper tape is loads better over here, guys. If you watch my videos to educate yourself, seriously, just use paper tape if you're doing dry lining, taping and jointing. It will save you a lot of anguish. Numerous times I've used this because it was the only thing we had, or you know, you're plastering anyway. The amount of movement you get on these old buildings is ridiculous, and you do end up with hairline cracks. It's not a big deal, it's purely superficial. A 1, 2, 3 mil coat of plaster is never going to have the structural strength to stop a building from moving, so don't ever feel bad about it. If you end up with cracks in your work, it's not you, it's the building moving. But if you use paper tape, it can handle it a lot better. So I learned how to install this absolutely years ago. During my career as a dry liner, one winter work got a bit slack, so I got put with a making good man. That means you go into all the brand new houses, and basically new houses, when they're built, obviously a lot of the materials were wet. Then people move in, crank up the heating, all these materials contract, expand, and you end up with movement. This blows, this can blow, this can blow. What that means is basically it separates itself from the plasterwork, and it needs replacing, it needs cutting out and redoing. So me and a mentor, Russell, would go around into these nice new, brand new buildings and reinstall all this stuff. Once I'd learnt this, then I knew it all. That was like the last bit that I didn't know. I could tack, dry line, dot and dab, I could frame, I could do the suspended ceiling system, I could do literally everything. And then getting to do this was fantastic for my skills, because then it meant I could pretty much do everything that was required of me, which is fantastic. What I'll do is I'll set up the GoPro on the kitchen window because that's a little bit smaller, and I'll show you how to do it. Okay, hopefully that's a suitable angle for you there. We always call this the head. Obviously, terminology's changed in the building trade, no matter where you are in the world, people call it different things. We would normally put this head on first and then do the reveals. We call these the window reveals. I'm not doing that because I'm still unsure of how to finish this detail, because the other day this shutter effed up. Literally yesterday I went to use it, and for the first time after multiple times of it being fine, it decided to jam up a little bit. So this still might be cutting out, so I don't want to put a finish, so I'm just going to do the sides. And it is as simple as measuring the length, or the height in this case. So we've got 134. Always check both sides. Now, when we're doing huge rooms, we would literally go round and all in one go, we'd measure every single head, every single reveal, and we would cut them and then place them into position. Now, the easiest thing to cut these is a decent pair of snips. I think my snips are decent. This is embarrassing. As you can see, I did not panic. I just bent it over a few times and snapped it. Right, you literally just snap it like that. Snap it shut. Run the whole length down. And then offer it up to check. And then we would literally just leave it there like that. Another way of doing it is just offer it like that to the required height, mark it, get your snips that don't work, cut it again. They work perfectly fine, I just use the end that time. Always thinking. Offer it up again, check. There you go. The difference is this is obviously paper thin, it's no more than 1 millimetre, if that, whereas the beads are about 2.5 mil. And when you're dealing with 5-6 mil gap down these hinges, it makes all the difference. Right, the next thing to do is slap a bit of gear down both sides. Now obviously it wants to be thicker than what the paper is, so there's plenty to squeeze out, so we'll do that now. Now I know loads of people use taping knives in a pan. I've never ever got on with it. Just to me it feels unnatural. So I stick with what I know, which is a Hawk and Trowel. It's a lot more comfortable in my hands. So why make it difficult for yourself? Go with what you prefer. Okay, so once you've got all the mud, the compound, the end weed in place, it's literally just a case of offering your paper tape up. Now this is where you want to be careful. What I do is, you've got the metal, you've got the paper, so I squeeze the paper just ever so gently, so starting at the top, and just press it in, but not too much because you distort it. So all you're looking to do is create that corner shape. So that's that side done. Something else you've got to keep an eye on is as you're running your fingers down, you can move the paper. So if it needs to be set in a certain position, just make sure you're not moving the paper too much because it will slide up and down. Right, once you've formed the corner, you just want to take all the excess out. See, this is when it's handy to have your pan, because you normally have your pan in your hand and you wipe it off. But I've just got my Hawk just out of sight to scrape down. Okay, so what you're looking to do is just take all the excess out, and then that's it. You check, make sure it's all still in alignment, you've got a nice looking right angle, and then you're good to move on to the next one. Now the more you clean off the excess and clean up your corners, the less sanding you've got to do in between coats, if that's what you do, or wiping snots off. So that's why you see me go over it as many times as I deem necessary. Right, happy days. I'll now go over and do that other side and we'll come back after that.